Hello and welcome to World Talks here on TVP World with me, Ashim Kumar. Tonight, Serbia is witnessing escalating demonstrations as students, opposition groups and citizens demand early elections after corruption scandals and violent clashes with police. With President Vučić dismissing the protests as foreign-backed, we ask what is really happening on the ground. Joining us live from Serbia is Marko Živković. He's Coordinator of Štit, a civic initiative providing legal protection and emergency assistance to activists facing harassment, detention or intimidation. Marko, welcome to TVP World. Thank you very much for taking the time. Okay.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. So let's start with the situation as it stands on the ground. We're hearing reports from Novi Sad, which is showing, violent clashes between demonstrators and police. Let's start with that. What's going on?
We are facing police brutality, and that is a consequence of panic that we have in our government. So President Vučić and his party, they're aware that that people of Serbia know that they are corrupted. They are using all of their powers to stay in power and win an election. So in the last 10 months we have student protests, as you know, and we are trying to convince the government to have fair elections, so people of Serbia can vote for those parties or those organizations they believe in, and to try to make a normal atmosphere in our society.
Right. Well, I mean, this has been the demand of the students and the other involved groups from the very beginning. The demand hasn't changed, and it seems fairly straightforward. Give us some elections. Now, clearly, Vučić is threatened by that demand. So what's going to happen next, do you think, Marko?
I think they will try to end these protests and this students' movement in any way they can. But I think that people of Serbia are enough with this government and things we can see every day on our streets in almost every town in Serbia. So I'm sure that students and others will win in this fight against corrupt regime, and we'll have some, maybe not fair, but some elections by end of the year. And after that, I'm sure that people of Serbia will choose wisely, and that Vučić and his regime will end by the end of this year.
Right. Well, you mentioned that the protests are happening around the country. Give us some kind of sense of those protests. Are they coordinated? Are they organized? How widespread are they? How many people are involved in them? What can you tell us about those things?
In the last 10 months, we had protests in more than 200 towns, municipalities, or villages in Serbia. They are organized by students. They inform us as citizens on social networks, and they are organizing that protest in every bigger place in Serbia. Last night we had protests in Novi Sad and Belgrade, where we once again faced with police brutality. Only thing the students and citizens want is justice for victims of corruption, which after incident in Novi Sad 10 months ago, and right now we are trying to convince our government that we need elections to end this political crisis we are facing every day.
Okay, now, President Vučić said in a speech just very recently that it was basically the fault of foreign elements coming in and agitating the students and the other groups. Your comments on that?
As every dictator, him as well, he tried to create some mysterious enemy as foreign powers or someone like that. Like last night, we had few members of European Parliament from Green Party who were in Novi Sad. Today, he threatened them that they are foreign agents or something like that, and that is because some of the political parties from European Parliament are still supporting Vučić and his regime. You know, like in the last 10 months, you only can hear some critics about his regime and everything happening in Serbia from Greens or ALDE party, but EPP as the strongest political party in European Parliament is still holding his back. And I think that people in Serbia don't need support from European Union to win on some next elections or to fix our problems. We just need from Mrs. von der Leyen and other people from EPP to stop supporting dictatorship in Europe. You know, they are creating new Erdogan, new Orban, new Lukashenko, new Putin, and I think that we don't need that in Europe right now.
Right. Well, talking about those leaders you just mentioned, how would you characterize the relationship between Vučić and Putin, and how much influence do you think Putin is exerting in Serbia at the moment?
In Serbia, we have a lot of people, politicians, or some businessmen who have strong links with Russian Federation and Putin himself. And Vučić, he's trying to, in Serbia, we like to say that sitting on two chairs. You know, when he's in Moscow, he's talking all the best about Russia and all the worst for European Union. And when he's in Brussels, he's talking bad about Russia, and he's talking that Serbia is on European path. I think he's scared about his future, and he tried to find an ally in Putin, in Lukashenko, in Xi Jinping, to try to find a way where he can go after people of Serbia vote against him.
Do you think Putin wants Serbia in the European Union?
I'm sure that Putin don't want anyone in the European Union, but I think that people in Serbia need to choose that no matter what Putin wants or what someone from European Union wants. I think people in Serbia know what is best for their future, and I'm sure that is not staying in against everyone in their neighborhood. I am sure that people in Serbia want to be a part of the modern world, and I think, unfortunately, Russia is not part of that modern world right now.
Understood. Now, I want to talk about your organisation. You're a coordinator for Štit. Tell us what your organisation does, Marko.
10 months ago, when protests started and everything, there was a lot of arresting of students, activists, members of some political organizations, and people and regular citizens from Serbia. So we figured out that those people need help from legal help. When they're arrested, they can call us, they can ask us for help, and we can provide them lawyers to help them in those political cases that we are facing every day. Right now, we have more than 200 lawyers in literally every town in Serbia. We had more than 500 cases of political cases, and I'm sure that in Serbia there's a lot of people who want to protect justice, and we are part of that.
Can you give us an example of the reasons that somebody would contact your organization and ask for help?
Like last night, one woman called me and told me that her husband was arrested because he was on a protest. Just few people who was few policemen took her husband to the police stations because he was part of the protest. After he gave some statement in police station, he was free again, but they needed to have a lawyer in that police station, and that is what we do. We also had some cases where some of the people from Serbian courts convinced some people that they are members of some terrorist groups or something similar, and we are there to help our people to protect themselves from police brutality, and as well that pressure that government is putting on courts and judges.
How effective have your lawyers and other responders been in terms of, getting some kind of justice for those that are facing this kind of persecution?
Right now, they're pretty. They're doing great job, because like 95% of people who contacted us is right now free. There's still some of them with ongoing processes, but I'm sure that after everything we are facing right now, all of them will be free and justice will be satisfied.
Okay, now just briefly, in the last couple of minutes that we have left, how independent are the courts in Serbia? So when a case like this comes before them, can we be assured of justice in those courts?
That depends for like person per person. We have a lot of judges in our courts that which are fair, and they want to be fair in those processes. We also have a few of them who are corrupted or they agree to do what government wants. But I'm sure that in really near future that all of them will be free to do their work by the law.
And finally, in the last few seconds, so a quick answer if you would, please, Marko. How are these professionals who are contributing to your organization, how are they being paid?
They volunteer to help Serbian people. We have, as I said, more than 200 lawyers who decided to help people who need their help or protection pro bono, so they are volunteers.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for laying all of that out for us, Marko, and we wish you every success. Have a good evening.
Thank you very much. Good evening.
And that brings us to the end of this episode of World Talks, but as always, don't go away, lots more coming up. Goodbye.